Alright, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Raidchat. We're E3 edition.
We're back.
Today, in this episode, we're bringing you Ubisoft's press conference.
Yeah, because it can't be worse than last year.
Respect my authority! That right there threw me for a loop at the beginning.
Yeah, as soon as I'll admit,
At
they
first
started
we were like,
out super strong.
Wait, at first it was like, what was it? We were thinking King's Quest.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, that's definitely King's Quest. Then Cartman appears out of nowhere. What?
And then they seemed like, they was like, oh, like they were talking about the stick of truth again. It's like, oh, well, there's another evil that's come, and then they're going to go find it. And it's like, oh, it's Butters, and it's like, oh, he's in his he's in his Professor Chaos.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh, we're doing superhero this time, so they all go.
Right.
And he's
Coon and Friends.
The Coon and Friends.
I thought that was really great, and you were still that
you're still the new kid.
Yeah, the new kid. So I thought that was really cool, and the name couldn't have been better. It's South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Yep,
that's amazing. Like, you can't get any better than that.
Did you play the Stick of Truth?
A little bit. I didn't actually get all the way through it, but
the Stick of Truth was amazing. Like, I thought, I don't even watch South Park that much, but I love the Stick of Truth. Like, it's like every bit of the game was fun. Like, that's how you do a licensed product video game right there.
And it helps that Matt and Trey were like directly with it the entire time. Because, I mean, you kind of can't. They are pretty much the voices of a lot of the cast.
Oh, yeah. And
it was their idea in the first place to make a game. It wasn't, somebody else coming to them like, hey, I want to make a game with South Park. And they were like, they went to someone like, we want to make a game out of our...
I mean, hell, I remember when they first announced Stick of Truth, they said they're not doing another game after this.
Well, they definitely did otherwise. And I'm glad they decided to make another one.
I mean, I'm curious I'm curious what the gameplay's gonna be like. If it's gonna be like a turn-based again, because I know they were making fun of it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So like, oh, no one likes turn-based anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wonder if it might be like, if they might take something from, say, Final Fantasy 15. How it's not turn-based, but it's it's that or like even Devil May Cry.
Real-time combat.
Yeah, real-time. I wonder if it might be something kind of like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But they definitely started out strong with South Park.
Like, I don't think, look at me, no one saw that coming.
Yeah, me and you were both like jaw dropped when that happened. We were like, what? It was great.
Yep. Like, I think, hey, I'm definitely looking forward to that game. I don't think they gave a release date though. I think it's coming out sometime next year.
Yeah, but I mean, it's.
But I say take all the time you need. I mean, they literally. I remember Stick of Truth took forever to come out.
Oh, did it?
Because it's the fact that THQ was working with them at first. Then the thing happened to THQ, and then like there were whole licensing things that had to go on. And then Ubisoft eventually bought the rights to it. They finished it. Like, it was a bunch of stuff that went out with Stick of Truth. And the final product couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I don't think this next one's got any problems.
I wonder if they're going to do summons again, or if it's just going to be like power ups.
Hey, I liked the summons in the Stick of Truth.
And called, was it Mr. Slave?
Mr. Slave. You can summon Jesus.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Jesus and pals. But, I mean, they switched from that to pretty much directly to this new IP called For Honor. That looked really. It was a melee heavy gameplay.
It looked okay to me. Like it reminded me of the Deadliest Warrior franchise.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, it's one thing I'll have to play for myself. Like it looked. I mean, it looked interesting. Like, it didn't look bad to me. Like, just like it needed to do a little bit more to get my attention. Like,
they said they really focused on the combat, because they were like, depending on where you're holding your sword, if you're holding on the left or the right or kind of up, that's where you're defending and that's how you attack. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Because, during the normal, like, oh, here's the minion, you can just hack and slash. But as soon as some other guy comes up, you're like in stance and, you're kind of, you're slowly. I thought, like, as soon as that one guy in the demo ran up, it got really intense. You could just be like, shit's about to go down. I mean, it definitely caught my attention. Especially you could be as they're like knights from a crusade.
You'd be samurais.
Samurais, yeah. Dude, that one samurai in the trailer, he was kicking some ass.
Oh, yeah. It makes me wonder when they add, like, more fighters.
I would imagine so. Maybe there's a ton of possibilities that they could add. But
I will say, if you add too many stuff though, that you pretty much you're going to be Deadliest War then.
Yeah.
To me, it would have to be stuff that I think they can keep the Knight Samurai Viking and the melee fighter, but you can get you get the next knight you get, he's on a horse or something like that.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Pretty much you can get new character, but keep it within the time periods of the characters you have now.
Yeah. It'll definitely be interesting to see how they take it. Because right now it looks great to me. I love how they went in depth with the combat. But aside from just being it's a fight to the death, is there anything else behind that, or is that just one of the modes?
As far as I saw, that may have been one of the game modes.
Okay, but it definitely caught my eye with that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that one when it comes around, because
I think they said they don't have a release date now, but I think it's entering beta sometime this year.
Yeah, I think
the open beta.
Yeah, so that one, it definitely.
it looked like. I like the one thing I will say. I liked it. It looked like that they definitely had weight to the characters. When they swung the sword and they were blocking and dodging, it wasn't like some quick thing. No, they were in armor, so they were moving accustomed to what they had on and what they were swinging.
Yeah, and it wasn't really, you can quick dodge. No, you have to be blocking in the right position, or otherwise you can get hurt pretty bad. And they even showed finishers.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And they even showed just because you're one guy, you can take on two people if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not, it's still likely they're going to kill you, but if you know what you're doing, you can stand a chance.
Yeah. Because, that one guy, the last guy, we'll talk about his finisher. He hits the one guy and then swings the sword around, and you can tell when he hits the dude's neck with the sword, he puts that extra thrust in, and his head just pops off. Oh my god. It's definitely, it has a lot of potential.
Oh yeah.
I'll give them that. But
let's see. Next up, they had the crew. It was called the Crew Wild Run. Is it a new game or is it a DLC?
I got kind of confused with that too.
I think I want to say it's an expansion.
Yeah.
Because look, that Crew just came out last year. It literally just came out last year.
It's probably just an expansion. It looks kind of cool. Because they had a bunch of stuff that they threw out with it, but I think it's just an expansion on the...
But for me, like Need for Speed, I'm just not into realistic racers.
Yeah.
The Crew, I like the idea of the Crew. It's you and your friends, you're probably got your own racing team, and you can just go out. They make it feel like it's like an MMO, kind of.
Yeah.
When you drive out, you see another player, way in the distance, you can try to run them off the road, you can challenge a race.
Yeah. There's definitely some aspects to the Crew that make it a little bit more... It makes it different from, say, Need for Speed or any other kind of games that are like that.
Oh, yeah.
But, we'll definitely, I'm not a big racer, so I'm not going to personally keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, but it held pretty well, apparently. People seemed kind of excited for it.
I'm surprised. I didn't think the Crew really sold that well, but hey.
Yeah.
Apparently it did better than I thought.
And then you have the horse hoofs. And the galloping, and then the more galloping. Then this the eyes. It looks like from a cat. And then
it was
the snout of a horse. Then you have a sword. And it switches back, and the horse is breathing fire out of its snout.
You thought it was actually Darksiders for a minute.
Yeah, because the gold gun and everything. I was like, that's got to be Darksiders, hands down. That's got to be a different, or something with the Darksiders. Maybe not, necessarily the next iteration.
Yeah.
But something with it. Maybe like a little offset game. But
it was definitely far from Darksiders.
God, all of a sudden
it was just it was an expansion of Trials Fusion.
Yeah, but what? It was like awesome level max.
Well, it's like a cat riding a unicorn.
A cat with a gun riding a fire breathing unicorn.
I'm okay with that.
What?
I'm okay with that.
What?
I said, sign me up.
They got my attention. That was one way to.
I think they got everybody's attention with that.
But let's see.
I don't think they didn't show any gameplay, but they just said oh, it's coming.
It's kind of hard. It's an expansion pack, but 30 plus tracks and other stuff. That's going to be a lot to show.
Yeah, I'm assuming since the cat had the gun, maybe there's some form of combat in it now.
Well, maybe that could just be
for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah, that could be
maybe
just another rider you get. Because I mean, you're obviously on a unicorn for some reason.
They breathe fire.
Yeah, like what? I mean, I know a couple of people who are big Trials fans, and they'll definitely love this because their last big expansion thing that came out, months ago, they loved it, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna love this one. Trials knows how to push some stuff, and they know how to push their content to their fans.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, they did a good job with it. But let's see.
The next game, the next game that's up is one that we haven't heard of for a while.
Yeah,
like they showed a few trailers here and there. It's I believe it was in Microsoft's press conference. Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe
they showed like a little bit of it. It was The Division.
Yeah.
They showed like a little bit more. They actually showed they showed this new area called the Dark Zone.
Yeah, ooh, that one.
Which looks like it's definitely a heavily enemy controlled area.
Yeah, I mean,
because in the demo they had was like. Was it just two of them at first, like just working together?
It was
three of them.
Okay. It was three of them, and then they were about to jump on this other group of three.
And these were just like NPCs what they were about to fight. Like they weren't actual players, the people they were going to fight.
Yeah, there was the 3 players, and then the 2 NPCs, or the 3 NPCs that were like partying and getting drunk or whatever.
They were just kind of there, just goofing off.
And then the other 2 players popped up behind them. They were like, "Oh shit!"
They're after their players. Yeah.
They were like, "All right, let's see what they do." You don't want to just start, killing them because you don't know how they react. Because apparently they already have loot from the area. Which, by the way, that area, the Dark Zone, I want to... To me, they made it seem like the equivalent of a dungeon or an instance.
Yeah.
Say from your typical MMO like World of Warcraft or whatever. That's how they made it seem because they're like, oh, the loot. Loot this, loot that. So it was like...
I mean, they were sitting there going... I would say with this trailer, because they did. I just remember they did show it at Microsoft press conference, and they made it seem like, oh, there's a story in it and stuff like that. Yeah. This one, it definitely made it's like they reminded people, hey, this is kind of an RPG kind of too.
I mean, they did say it was an action RPG. I think that's what they said.
Something like that.
But it was definitely online, open world. But that Dark Zone, that looked like some hard enemies.
Yeah, because the 2 random people that showed up, they actually helped them take out the NPCs. Yeah. And after they killed them, they just stayed with them for a little while. They said, fuck it, we'll help you out. Yeah. So they went in. There was like a whole group of other NPCs. No, I think there were more players.
I think so. No, was it players or the guys with the flamethrowers?
No, they were NPCs.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they were NPCs.
Those were like NPCs. Apparently, they were really tough. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna skip them," and they snuck by them, which I thought that was pretty cool because it makes it seem like an actual. It makes it seem kind of MMO-ish, but also.
I'm assuming like they've already kind of established if you die, you lose your loot that you get.
Yeah, it's, even in the dungeon anyway.
Yeah, in the Dark Zone.
Until you leave, then I think you don't get to keep it. Like if you just find it in the dungeon and die, you don't keep it. But if you find it and then beat the dungeon and then you get to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, they got ready for the evac, and they were, pulling up the perimeter. Nobody was coming. Like, oh, this is weird. And then the helicopter comes, and they were like, all right, let's kill the 2 guys that helped us.
Yeah.
And they turned on them, which was a dick move.
One of them went down. Like one of the 3 people, they went down.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't die, but it's like, oh, can you heal them? And while the girl was going to go steal from, I think it's Zoe. Yeah.
Yeah, from the one
of the other
Zoe.
Yeah. One of the other players that they killed.
And then the one guy was just like, it switched to his screen. It was like, abandoned group. I was like, I know what he's going to do. And immediately...
And they were like, come on, aren't you coming?
He dropped group, slaughtered everybody, took the loot, and bailed.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit, this is brutal.
That guy's a real hero right there.
What a dick. But, that to me made it like, I definitely want to play this game.
I think they said a beta's coming in the holiday season, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But the release date was
they finally gave us a release date.
Yeah, March 8th next year. Oh man, woo!
I'm really excited for that one. And then I think they started talking about they started to bring up a new IP.
Yeah, Anno 2205, which is like a SimCity creator almost.
Like it wasn't really. I think that's more your speed than anything. Like I'm not really into the city building.
No, I don't like SimCity. I like The Sims, but not SimCity.
But it looked interesting.
Yeah, and you could like build stuff on the moon and transport back and forth. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
And then they, for whatever reason, in the middle of Ubisoft, they had a concert.
Of course,
for
I think they do that last year. Every time there's a Just Dance game, because it was they not Just Dance 2016. If you didn't know, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knew they come out with one every year.
Yeah,
and they started just dancing. I mean, I just wanted I wasn't crazy about it, but it's like at the end of the day, unlike EA, at least they made it fun.
Yeah,
they were just singing. They were actually singing it themselves. They were dancing. They made it like, okay, this is just fun to watch. It is like it wasn't too long. It did, so it was long enough to keep your attention.
It wasn't
song. Boring.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give them props for like, hey, at least you're making it entertaining for people.
Yeah, but some of the cool things that they introduced about the game itself. If you didn't want to have a Kinect hooked up or a PlayStation Eye or camera, you could just use your smartphone as the controller.
Oh, yeah.
That I think's pretty cool. Because
it's like, once again, they're using the fact that maybe people can't afford to connect something like that, but they still want to play your game.
Or like there's that whole you don't want to have it hooked up because the what are they called? I can't remember the name. The NCA, the government. Yeah. I can't think of the word, the name. They're spying on you, bullshit, yada yada yada, whatever. Real or not, I don't care. It's the whole, they don't want to have it hooked up for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They could have an alternate option, and then they talked about a little service they'll go along with it, Just Dance Unlimited, which is like a streaming service for your dancing.
I mean, you'd be surprised if people watch it. So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's like you pay so much or whatever, and you could just stream the music and then dance to whatever songs are available on there.
Which I think they announced is going to be like I think over 30 songs when it comes out.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Instead of having to like do the Rock Band thing or Guitar Hero thing where you buy all the songs.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Your next iteration of the game, it's not compatible and you're out,
Yeah, really, Guitar Hero's the only one that's bad about that.
Yeah, it's definitely a different, I would say a better marketing thing as far as that goes. Because they pop out these games kind of frequently.
And so they brought up another indie game. I think it was another new IP, the Trackmania Turbo.
Oh yeah. It was that
It's kind of like matchbook, like match cards, kind of like they look like little Hot Wheels that you were kind of.
Yeah, I called it arcade style racer.
Yeah, maybe it pretty much was that.
Yeah, super fast. They had the one thing that I thought was awesome was the track generator.
Oh yeah, because you can make your own tracks.
And it made a random track. That was completely, off the wall. Like that one dude, literally at the beginning, he hits the sign and then flips. Yeah, that was great. But
it was really fast paced. Like it was super fast.
Oh jeez, yeah. That was like I saw it go. I was like, that's definitely an arcade style because it was like super fast. You're like, huh.
Honestly, I think I could get into it. Like, because it kind of gives you that nostalgia of playing like old cars back when you were a kid. Like,
Cruising USA.
Yeah, sure. Well, you kind of build your own tracks. You kind of drop the car down the hill and it goes around the track.
Oh yeah.
That's what reminded me of a lot.
Yeah, I mean it definitely. The graphics on it were pretty good.
Yeah, they were actually not too bad.
Yeah, I mean the guys were on screen and off screen in like well under like 3 minutes. It was like definitely a. Hi, we're here. This is our game. Bye. We're out. Like, okay.
Pretty much. I mean, they pretty much showed what they needed to show.
Yeah. So. And then there was everybody's favorite Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, your favorite.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It has its moments with what it looks like, or it looks fun and everything, but I mean, that mode that they showed, Terror Hunt or Tarot Hunt, or I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it. That looked pretty cool, but
it's just that every time I look at it, it just doesn't look like it's bringing anything new to the table to me.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's a squad based shooter. It just what was it, a 4v4, 5v5? I think.
I want to say 5v5, but it may have been 4.
I don't know. It's just like I just don't see myself playing. Again, people. I mean, honestly, people are excited for it. I'm happy for them. Like, I'm glad that they finally get it, because it's been a while since we had a good Rainbow Six game.
Yeah.
And it's just fact, this game doesn't look like it's going to, like, keep people's attention for a long period of time to me.
It's, to me, if it did keep, your attention, it's definitely a pro gamer kind of game. It's like strictly competitive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be all for watching this like on esports or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I think it'd be cool. It'd be fun to watch. I mean, I'll admit, I enjoy the people watching it, especially people who are actually like coordinated and know how to like strategize and stuff.
See how each team handles a certain situation.
Oh yeah,
because they went the team they showed that did the infiltrating, that were defusing the bombs. They went in through this one window. I bet you there's like 8 different ways to get through that building.
Yeah.
Aside from just that one window. But that game, I mean, it's got potential, and definitely, like I said, esports. I would love to see it on.
Oh yeah.
Any kind of esports or Twitch or whatever. But let's see.
To be honest, I really don't want to stay on this one long because, like, everybody, Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
It looks great. I love the the aesthetic of it.
It's just the fact that one thing all they showed was a trailer. They just showed they kind of showed you they showed you who the male protagonist was, what he was all about. Like, he's pretty much getting like people to see to join his side.
Yeah.
And I just don't like the fact that you have a female protagonist, but you're not showing her.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that.
I don't know. Like, to me, she like. Kind of like Aveline, they're more interesting than the main male character because they're all pretty generic these days. As far as with Assassin's Creed characters, anyway.
Yeah, I did like how
I will say Edward was the most interesting of the male. Like, Edward and Ezio are the most interesting male assassins.
I did like how they, with this guy, I didn't catch his name. He was like, he was the leader of like this little band of, I guess, thugs or group of people, and I liked that part, because they were towards the end of it, he beat the crap out of that one guy after rescuing the kids from the forced labor building.
Oh yeah.
And it's like he beats the crap out of them, and when he's walking out, he goes, "Rooks with me," and pretty much the entire group that was with the other dude left. I was like, okay. All right.
I mean, I will admit, I do like the trailer was good looking. Like, Ubisoft knows how to make good trailers. And I like the fact when they were running through the city, like, I said, running on the horsebacks and everything. Yeah. And then when they ran out of road, he used the grappling hook to kind of jump back on there and everything. So I like that they're actually trying to put emphasis on, the new mechanics of it. Again, I may give this one a try. It's hard to say. Because they already said they're doing it with multiplayer for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So it's not any multiplayer, so they're strictly focused on single player.
A lot of people like some of the multiplayer from the older ones, but
it's just the fact with no multiplayer at all, there should be no excuse. Because you remember, Unity was a buggy mess when it came out. Like, I think they may have fixed everything by now. I don't know. I'm sure there are some bugs left, but I mean, it's playable now.
But
and Syndicate, honestly, if it does it like that, then the Assassin's Creed franchise is going to start hurting.
Oh yeah, because I mean, Unity was a flop. If Syndicate
did sell well. It's just the fact that it left a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah. If they do it again, I don't think Assassin's Creed is going to last that much longer.
No.
At least not under the same. Because what they do is they pump out one every year. Stop that.
Well, in some cases you get two. Remember, we got that side scroller one.
Yeah. I mean, that one was fine. It's not your typical.
Well, a lot of people hated that one too.
I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't really put an opinion on it. But to me, I don't really like the whole, let's have a different, like another game of the same series out every year. I don't like that.
Because if depending on who you are, if it gets stale, like you just feel like
Call of Duty could kind of pull it off, for example, because they have two different companies making a different one, and they alternate years. Okay, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it does get stale. It does get kind of boring.
But enough about Assassin's Creed. Like this one, the next game, I think just literally threw everybody for like a whoa. Yeah, and it was a new Ghost Recon. I would not expect a new Ghost Recon.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about a name. They were just like, oh, you could do, was it the long range one right off the bat, and then.
Well, give me that trailer was amazing.
Yeah,
like it literally felt like it was Ghost Recon, but they mixed it with Far Cry. Yeah, like it was big open world. I'm talking about the worlds were huge. I'm talking about, And literally, it's all it was. I didn't know what it was. Honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be another
I thought it was Far Cry.
I thought it was another Call of Juarez. You know, they went to modern day for a little while, so that's what I thought it was when they mentioned like the cocaine and everything.
Yeah.
But I know, like me, I'm a huge fan. Like I love Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Like the Ghost Recon's always been a favorite series of mine.
Okay, yeah.
And like I love the fact they're going open world. Literally, like you can do whatever you want to in it. Like it's big scale. Saw it's 4-player, like it's 4-player co-op, maybe more. They didn't really say, but I mean, like literally, what they showed apparently was actual gameplay and everything, and it looked great.
Oh yeah, you can take on. I'm gonna assume every mission you can do this. Just take it on completely different ways. They showed like I said, the first one was the long range one. Then they showed the stealthy one where they went through the rain and took out people. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
And then but all out chaos where they just went in balls to the wall and
that'd probably be me most of the time.
They just destroyed everybody.
But I will say, unlike Future Soldier, it does look like this is more of a modern day one though. Like it's kind of like you have like modern day tech. You know, Future Soldier you had like kind of like the somewhat future gear where you got and it was okay. Like I like the Future Soldier, great game. Like I would definitely recommend it.
It seems you were more like from the trailer. It seems you're like a group of mercenaries.
They're like kind of like your hired guns.
Yeah, because you just jumped out of was it a helicopter or a plane? I think it was
like
a plane.
Yeah.
And you weren't in any kind of uniform. You were just in whatever with a bandana around your mouth and a sunglasses on. Like what? All right, but it definitely surprised everybody. Honestly,
oh, yeah. I mean, Ubisoft does that every year, though. Like, look, at the end of the conference, they always show, like, a game you never see coming. I remember they did it with Watch Dogs, they did it with Far Cry, and now they're doing it with Ghost Recon.
Yeah. I'm definitely want to check out Ghost Recon.
But, final few words from me. Ubisoft, to me, did a lot better than they did last year. Like, last year, they didn't do bad because they brought Far Cry, but this year, Ubisoft knew what they were doing. Like, they kept their conference entertaining, they brought a lot of good games. They're showing that their franchise is still strong. Yeah, and it's like and a lot of this stuff's coming out this year. So,
oh yeah. And the host Aisha Taylor. Or Tyler.
Oh, hilarious.
She's great, but the one guy she sat down with that was in cosplay, I was.
He just seemed like he was terrified.
It seemed really awkward. But all right, whatever. But oh no, she did pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
I think they had her last
doing
year
it.
too.
Yeah. So I mean, she did well. I would say overall, they did better than EA.
Oh, miles better.
But as far as where I placed them, still Bethesda, Microsoft.
I think they did better than Microsoft, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
I would say they got close to Microsoft. I'll say that because they brought a bunch of new games. They surprised us with 2 new games that were just freaking out of nowhere: South Park and Ghost Recon. But definitely EA is still in the last position. Yeah. But I mean, there's still 4 other.
We're halfway through now.
Oh, jeez, so many. But yeah, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with this episode of Raid Chats. Like it if you like it. Subscribe. Share us. Talk about us with your friends.
Tell your pets about us.
Tell your pets about us.
I got a cat.
They got their pet tube, or I don't know what it's called.
Pet tube. Sounds like a porno website already.
Don't even. If it's called Pet, it's got to be something bad.
But anyway, tell us what you thought about Ubisoft's press conference in the comments below. How did they do to you? Did you see anything coming? What do you think about Assassin's Creed and the new things? And I believe Sony's up next.
Yeah. And, comments, tweet at us, The Geist, ShadowClaw707, and VG Raiders. Peace out.
Bye.